They scored 64 points in the first half and then obviously ended the game with over 100 points. And you just saw the ball moving. You saw everybody running the floor. Like, I feel like at some point in time during the game, every player had a fast break bucket. Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark's first bucket of the night was a long three-pointer, and she was excited for that. A lot of fans were excited for that because it still seems like she's not shooting at the highest clip. Let's talk about this Caitlin Clark Paige Bueckers rivalry. This rivalry to me is a much better one than the Angel Reese Caitlin Clark rivalry because Paige and Caitlin essentially play the same position. They are both at least guards.
The Fever couldn't win without Caitlin Clark. They said their season was over before this game even started. Well, last night they proved everyone wrong in spectacular fashion, breaking records left and right. Players like Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard pulled off a performance for the history books. What exactly did they do? Let's dive into the unforgettable moments you absolutely need to see. Before we move on, I will like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Who needs Caitlin Clark when your entire team plays like that? Let's not sugarcoat it, the Indiana Fever were written off before this game even tipped off. With Caitlin sidelined, every pregame narrative circled around one looming question. How is this team built around a rookie superstar supposed to handle not just any opponent, but Paige Bueckers and the Dallas Wings, a squad stacked with talent and on a hot streak? To most people, this matchup felt more like a formality. Like it was only a matter of time before the Fever folded under the pressure. After all, the idea that Indiana could survive.
There has been ups, there has been downs, there has been times that we have been so confused on what is actually going on with this team. But in this game, they were playing quick. They were moving the ball around. They had so many points off of the fast break, and they actually broke a league record. Like we normally see Caitlin Clark, but she did have 2 3-pointers tonight, and she was 4 for 12 from the field. So like I said, she's still not shooting at the percentage as she normally would. And this is by no means saying that Paige isn't a great player. I think that she is one of the top guards in the WNBA already. And I think Paige is going to continue to improve in the WNBA.
Let alone thrive. Without its franchise centerpiece, no one believed it. No one except this team. But let's talk about the reality they walked into. Paige Bueckers was doing exactly what you'd expect from someone with her reputation. Right from the jump, she carved through defenders, hit tough contested shots, and controlled the tempo for Dallas in a way that sent a warning. This wasn't going to be an easy night for Indiana, and with Caitlin watching from the bench, the Fever faced the kind of pressure that could break most teams. That's what made this win so special. It wasn't just about surviving without Clark. This wasn't a scrappy, lucky effort. This was a team show up, silence everyone kind of performance. Kelsey Mitchell stepped into the spotlight first. Everyone knew she could score, but what she did in this game wasn't just putting up points. It was carrying a team on her back when they needed it most. Mitchell went right at Dallas's defense, breaking through double teams and hitting tough shots in the lane. She didn't wait for the game to come to her. She set the tone that Indiana wasn't backing down, and every single basket felt personal, like it was her way of saying, yeah, we hear the doubters, watch this. But it wasn't just about scoring. Aari McDonald showed us all why the Fever brought her in mid-season. This wasn't a flashy kind of leadership. It was the steady, composed, no-quit mentality she brought to the floor. As point guard, she dictated the pace. When Dallas tried to ramp up the game, Aari slowed it down and got her team into their sets. When they needed an answer in transition, she sped things up and attacked the rim herself. It's the kind of work that doesn't always show up in a highlight reel, but changes the energy of an entire team. McDonald's presence brought an instant calmness to the Fever, a key reason why they didn't crumble under the Wings' relentless pressure. So let's make it clear, the Fever didn't just survive without Clark, they thrived. This team, facing the sharpest criticism and the biggest odds, turned in what might go down as one of their best performances without their biggest star. And as impressive as that is, what makes it even better? They made history in the process. Let's talk about exactly how they rewrote those record books. This wasn't just a win, it was a rewrite of the record books. The Fever didn't just take down the Dallas Wings, they left behind a performance so packed with history, it's hard to believe it all happened in one game. And the craziest part? This isn't the kind of thing you see every day in the WNBA. These records are rare, and what the Fever achieved without Caitlin Clark was nothing short of astonishing. Let's start with the second quarter, the explosion that set the tone for the entire night. The Fever poured in 36 points in that single quarter, the most they've ever scored in a half in franchise history. And let's be clear, this wasn't some fluky, fast-paced shooting spree. It was a calculated dismantling of Dallas's defense. Fast breaks, perfectly timed three-pointers, fluid passing, everything clicked. By halftime, their total climbed to 64 points, which was not only a franchise record, but also the highest scoring half by any team in the league this season. For a team missing its most reliable scorer, that's wild. But the scoring surge wasn't just about running up the numbers. This was a full team effort. Aaliyah Boston and Natasha Howard owned the front court in a way that hasn't been seen before. Literally, because they became the first pair of teammates in WNBA history to record at least 10 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals in the same game. Boston was everywhere, grabbing boards, dishing out assists, collecting steals, even swatting shots. Her stat line: 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. It was dominance on all sides of the ball. And then there was Howard, who pulled down a career high 16 rebounds on top of 11 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Together they controlled the game, making it impossible for the Wings to establish any rhythm in the paint. Then you've got Chloe Beebe, who might be new to this team, but is already carving out her place in the Fever's history. She set a franchise record by hitting multiple threes in each of her first 3 games. That kind of shooting consistency added another layer to their offense, forcing the Wings to stretch their defense. Her quick success isn't just some streak either, it's making her an integral part of what the Fever are building, and it's earning her trust in big moments. You don't see that kind of immediate impact often, especially from someone who just joined the roster, but Chloe stepped in and hasn't missed a beat. And then there's Kelsey Mitchell. If anyone doubted her ability to lead when Clark isn't on the floor, this game put those questions to rest. She dropped her 13th 20-point game post All-Star break, which puts her alone at the top for most in the league this season. That scoring consistency is a lifeline for the Fever, especially in the tighter moments when defenses like Dallas's try to lock things down. But it's more than her points. It's the way she balances scoring with keeping her teammates involved. Mitchell isn't just racking up stats, she's making everyone around her better. And these records weren't just numbers to look good on a stat sheet. They were statements that the Fever are no longer just the league's young team with potential. They're building into something real. Each of these moments showed the depth, chemistry, and resilience this team has developed as the season has gone on. And this game wasn't just a one-off, it was proof that this group can play a complete game at a level that rivals the best in the league. And here's the thing, Caitlin Clark wasn't even there for this. Imagine how much more dangerous this group will be once she's back on the court and able to combine her playmaking with the chemistry they've built over games like this. This wasn't just about breaking records, it was about building a foundation for what's next. With records shattered and confidence soaring, what does this game mean for the Fever's future? Let's talk about it. The Fever's historic win against the Dallas Wings wasn't just a fluke, it was a warning. This team didn't just hold their own without Caitlin Clark. They played like a group ready to contend with the best in the league. Every record smashed, every play made, sent the same message. Indiana is here to stay, and with Caitlin Clark returning soon, how much scarier can they get? Her ability to integrate into a team full of players who found their rhythm makes the Fever even more dangerous. The Indiana Fever just sent a message to the WNBA. Are you ready?